made about 3, maybe 4 tracks, and they ended up picking one.
Okay, now talk to me about each one of those tracks.
What I felt from that track, man, was a lot of that shadiness, a lot of that backstabbingness. You know what I mean? A lot of people said that, you know, the government really don't care about black people. Kanye West stood up on national TV and said Bush don't give a damn. But you gotta know politics. You gotta know what that stands for. Shrewd business, plain and simple. Definition. I was feeling all of that, man. I was feeling a whole lot of anger, a whole lot of love at the same time. I was feeling a whole lot of weakness and a whole lot of strength.
So all 3 of those tracks had it. Did you kind of have a feeling which one was gonna be picked?
A lot those out of those tracks, man. They all had, you know, they represented what I felt, because I put it in there. That's what I played with. But when it come down to simplest terms and getting it out there to you know, the average Joe out there, and getting it out there to the streets and letting them hear it, we went with what had that funk, you know.
I can't make up my
damn near get your motherfucking son locked up. I said, you finna get your son locked up.
When I walked through that club, bro, I was like, ain't no way in hell. I'm gonna tell you that. There's no way in hell, man.
Bad feeling with it.
Man, it's a prison. It ain't a school, it's a prison, man. I knew them kids had to be mad as hell.
Huh?
I knew the kids had to be mad as hell. The way they got it wired up,
yeah,
it's wired up.
And on that promotion, he wasn't even talking shit
And
like
they had the door unlocked. The dude was wondering how I got in there. He said, I wasn't even supposed to be just walk in.
What up, Philly Phil? What up with you, fam? Goddamn, man. What's up with you, man? Busy, man. Right over coming through, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You say what, bro? I'm not gonna come through. Oh, man. I don't know, man. I know how busy you are, brother.
You and the wife got to come see at the Black Rap.
You're damn skippy. You're damn skippy. When is it?
Next day open up in February. You know what I'm saying?
Damn right.
Who they were here to serve, the very people they were here to serve, looks at them, don't embrace them. I felt that at the time, I felt that. I felt that it was like, man, that, and I felt this from the supporters, from the people, some people had been with it from the beginning. I felt their indifference, their silence, and that's what bothered me most. That's what, like, it was that those that had been with it all that time, you know, it was the indifference and the silence. And it was just a, oh well, it's okay, it's another Falak movie, another, you know, and that's cool, you know what I'm saying? You know, that's cool. I mean,
but it bothers you.
But it bothers me quite a bit. It because it was something that because where it started, it was something that had carried. It was something that was inspired. It was something that, you know, going back to the inspiration of it, Cat Davis, Chris Branch, you know, another brother from Altered States of Consciousness was talking about Cat from Modu Crew. We started naming off some of the brothers, some of the fallen gods, some of the fallen brothers that had, some of the artists, gods as Rosmo called them, you know, that had been putting it down in the city, trying to hang, and how the city ate them up, you know. And that's what the hunger was for. And it was like, by the time I kind of rolled with Charles on the Too Late, I feel that because it was like I was from another era. You know what I'm saying? That's what you feel like you are an artist from Miscast the Play, so to speak. You're from another era. You're from a bygone era. That's for whatever reason, and I'm just being honest. I just got to be honest with this. I just felt like when it came out, it was presented to an audience, or not the audience in the music, not the people that were there, because man, it did great. It did great. It did great. It did great. Man, we were blessed. But it's the city. It's the bigger. It's something about something ain't been right. And I guess I'm a story and I'm sticking to it. Something ain't been right. Something don't feel right.
We often feel spirits in the black caddy as he rides. Flashbacks of the numerous rides and the missions that uncles ride. And she rides, flinging her weave side to side. She doesn't stop.
She don't stop.
Maya keeps us all caught up. Yeah, she has a few more tricks up her sleeve.
It's crazy, man. Like before, and I was trying to articulate it, you know, and I think you know what's up, you know what I'm saying? But it was really difficult to articulate how I felt as 2012 ends, you know. And I'm often like, you know, I feel the same way about the Roman Greco calendar as I do about holidays. That it's all kind of man's, you know, making an assertion or trying to assess things, but man, but something about the end of year energy, and I do believe something's happening. Something happens at that time a year, but I just, unlike any other time in my recollection, I felt as this year ended and as the new one began, I literally was like, I'd never had that kind of angst, that kind of fullness, and it was a spiritual, like it had been something that had been nagging me and nagging me and nagging me. But I felt this like, there's no way. I couldn't do another day of the day-to-day routine, let alone a whole year. You know what I'm saying? Of another year of this. It bothered me a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like, and I'm like, damn, what's going on? But now I see. You know what I'm saying? Because something was breaking. Something was breaking through, you know. It was like pushing through, like bam, like a baby being born or something like that. And because ever since I got the news, ever since, you know, I have, you know, this economic opportunity, we don't call them jobs, we call them economic opportunity, came, I felt an ease, you know what I'm saying? I felt I've been exhaling like that whole, and I'm calming down, you know what I'm saying? Because it was like feel like an angst, like feel like I'm ready to pop or something.
If what? If something don't change?
If something don't change. If I don't change, it reminds me of watch Superfly a lot, you know, towards the end of the last year, you know. And you know, Priest, you know, he just said, I need to change the way I live. You know, everyone's asking, what you looking for? You got this, you got. And Priest like, I don't know what it is I'm looking for. I just need to change the way I live. He just knew that he couldn't do no longer what he had been doing any longer. So I've resonated with that, and Superfly been one of, you know, but something about this past year, starting that, and I was telling you, man, it was like 2012 that this process actually began, that I began to really put my energy and without being anxious, you know, because not wanting to make no herk and jerk move, and I ended up in a worse situation than I was. But this has been a year to this day, dang near, of this opportunity, this change.
Now, what's the change?
The change is I have an opportunity. I have a job offer. You know, I have a job, and I have a job in Dallas, Texas. And I'm tripping off that. Like, I'm realizing I'm 39 years old, 40 this year, God willing. And I've never had a job offer outside of the city. You know what I'm saying? I've never had so this is a first. It's unprecedented to have a significant, makes more sense than anything else. And right in line with my cycle, right in line with my flow with, where I need to be and what I need to do in this season.
What brought the job opportunity now, like finally, 2013? You've been grinding here in St. Louis all this time.
I don't know, man, because I abruptly lost my job in August of 2012 with already lamenting, already kind of wanting out. And both my jobs let me go, like literally let me go. I saw being let go as literally being let go, in my spirit, I'm still let go. In my spirit, I still, I'm like, man, I wasn't talking about no job. I wanted to, as I've wanted all these years. You know what I'm saying? Since I can remember, since I started out on this stuff, I wanted to be able to get out here and really make the company work, make IMWE work. You know what's up. So it's something. And I really was hoping to use this opportunity to really make it work. So I was on no retreat, no surrender, because I had a job offer immediately to go right back into the field. You know what I'm saying? Go right back into what I was doing at the museum. And I kind of stiff-armed that to the point that when I actually started to acquire about it, that the temperature had passed. The temperature changed on that one. And I was cool with that anyway, because I wasn't really, for reasons I don't need to go into, I really wasn't really comfortable about that particular situation, the nature of that job and what I just went through and the one that I just got let go of, that I just left or got fired from. And I can say fired. I got fired from the History Museum in August 2012. So man, no, I wasn't looking for no job. I wasn't. When we got going, we got out to the flea market. We started putting out our product. It was fun. It's fun. We had that surgeons, that research guy, did a couple commercials or whatever.
How did that come about? How did Flea Market come about?
Flea Market came through Raj Drew, for real. I'd hook up. Drew has been someone that's been in and out, but I consider him IMWE. He's I call him my big homie. He's like my bigger brother. He is my big brother. We fight like that. You know what I'm saying? We roll like that. That bigger brother trying to school the younger brother. We got a bond like that. And he's a mentor. Like a lot of the things that I'm doing come from like my time with him. And he's that kind of cat. Like usually he dropped something and say spirit it's moved. So we hooked back up at the end of July, and he was talking about it. One day he just came here to the church and he's like, "Yeah, man, I gotta go out to Ken, mutual cat we know." He said, "Yeah, I got a Ken want me to go out and drop something off at Rosmo, cat named Rosmo." And I said, "I know Rosmo." He said, "Yeah, man, you're at the flea market. I gotta go drop some jewelry off to him, And Drew, like he said, "You coming?" I said, "Yeah, I'm coming." And he said, "Yeah, I know, you coming?" So it's just like that. I went out, me and Rosmo saw each other, and immediately like, "Oh man," and it was on and popping, like right there. He was like, "Man, I know you got something for Lop, to come in to start." So we made, we started the deal. We started negotiating it wasn't really no negotiating amongst the guys, amongst the brothers like that. It was just like getting everything set up. So I immediately, I prayed on it, as I always do in situations like that, because I knew money was going to be involved and that we was kind of entering into something. And then I knew it was time to holler at you, you know what I'm saying? And I hollered at you pretty quickly, because I knew the cat that Rosmo was, and I usually don't like to, even holler at you unless it's, something worthwhile with all the stuff we'd have been through. So I knew from the jump, because the vibration was right and the source, I trust the source, that Rosmo was good. And so I immediately let you know. And it began to, and we were ready. That was the ironic thing. We were ready from previous. And it's just like, as you say, all cylinders were clicking. It was because we were ready. It wasn't nothing to do, but it was a lot of product that I had. I was waiting for an opportunity like this to do something with the product. That's exactly, I knew I wasn't the kind of cat that can, "Hey man, I got this right here." But I knew that kind of setting was what, because that's us, that look like us and everything, or an aspect of who we are anyway. So, so everything was ready. It was just set out. I basically just changed envelopes. Some of the sleeves looked a little cruddy because they've been in my bag all this time. So it was that simple, man. I just simply changed. We made a deal with Rosmo. I put the product I had in cleaner envelopes and brought it out to the table, and it was like that. And then you came, and then it went to a whole nother level. And that's been that's been fun. You know what I'm saying? And that's like to me, that's a project. Like we did another project, a different, on another level, but it had that urgency and that fun and that newness of like we were shooting something, you know what I'm saying? So I've really enjoyed it. So I feel like we did it. Like, we planted a flag and we put our stake down in another, we hit another crescendo, hit another level. And, but, I knew and have known, because like I said last year, that something wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? Something was like, I couldn't get settled. Something was, and I'm still having difficulty articulating, but something was like, something just didn't feel right. Ain't no way to put it, but it was time to go. It was the sister I met had told me that, she says, "Falak, you're dying on the vine." She came to the museum and I did some work with it, Queen Margie Hollins. And she said, "I see your aura," real spiritual sister. I'm like, "What?" She said, "You got a red aura." And I was like, "What does that mean?" She says, "That means I can tell that you're struggling, you're giving birth to something. Something is, and until you do it, you're going to be, you are going to be a little, not bit like that, a little maniacal in a sense, frustrated." And she said, "You're giving birth to something, but you're an artist and you're dying on the vine." She says, "You have to." She said, "I don't care." And this is Queen telling me this, old, an older lady, like my grandmother age or something like that, and she telling me that, yeah, and you guys, because I got my kids. Say no. She said, bump your kids, not in the sense of bump your children and bump your responsibilities, but if you don't take care of what's happening with you and replenish yourself, you're gonna self-destruct. You're not gonna be nothing for them anyway. So you gotta get out and recharge yourself and rejuvenate yourself. And that's what it's been, man. That's what I think has been my whole uneasiness, because it's been an uneasiness that I felt, and I started feeling it I've started feeling ever since we finished The Hunger. I mean, I felt it coming as The Hunger was coming to a completion. You know, I kind of started, that's why I can really remember, like, kind of feeling like something's weird here, you know. And it's kind of like you feel like your mojo is leaving. You know, it's kind of like you feel like you losing your, you know, and in a sense you are. In a sense it was, because it was being depleted. So man,
why? Good, you know, that's a strong word. Depleted. How? What causes that? You talk about as far as the work or your personal life?
Both. I mean, for cats like us, or I guess a cat like me, I don't have a personal life. You know what I'm saying? The work and the personal life are one. You know what I'm saying? That's to my detriment. It is what it is. As Mr. Brantley say, I'm over 30. I'm 40, so that's me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to find a way to bring more harmony to it, or find a way that hopefully it can coexist a little bit more. But to me, that's how I roll. Like I am my work. There is no separation. I'm always building, always thinking, always on it. So, yeah, I think, brother, that I think in an environment like ours, and pretty much I would say, and in just this environment in this country, you know, shit, maybe the world, you know what I'm saying? But in this environment, okay, we won't get all out into that. In this environment where we from, where we work and live and raise our families and try to do our thing, you constantly find yourself having to go deeper and deeper to pull out more and more and more. It's not like and I'm hypothetically speaking because I haven't experienced, but it's not like a New York, Austin, an Atlanta, San Francisco. We've been there. It's not where you like art is everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You just feel this. You feel this energy. You can feel this vibration. You know, even Chicago, you know, which is like just a step up from St. Louis. You know, cross between St. Louis and the New York environment, in my opinion. But you can feel it. It never sleeps. There's something happening. It never sleeps. The water looks better. It's prettier water. It's something. Museums are everywhere. You can feel that. You can feel that stokes the creativity, man. For an environment like ours, you have to go deeper. It's like I equate it. Excuse me for those that have endured it. I've never spent any real time incarcerated. But having worked closely with someone who's incarcerated and feeling his spirit and feeling his vibration, and you feel like you're a prison artist. Like you're an artist in prison. And because you're in prison, and you don't have the access and the outlets and everything around you, you have to go deeper, which is dope. You know what I'm saying? You have to go spirits. Like I talk about Reggie, and if you ever see a Reggie painting or one of his drawings, it's so meticulous, it's so in-depth. And what's dope and so in-depth about it is that it's with pencil. That's all he got. He doesn't have canvas, he ain't got different watercolors and nothing like that. It's all gray, but the detail and the depth are so on point because he's got the time and he's pulling from something. He's pulling from a memory. He's not looking at some woman and drawing her or something like that or some beautiful sunset. He has to pull from something that he remembers, or a little magazine clipping or something like that, even words. And so hitting that, you can have some of the most beautiful art, you know, some of the most beautiful work. And it's truly the definition of doing nothing, taking nothing and making it into something. But by doing that, you're only human. And you are getting older. And you set out to do this and make a living. I set out to make a living off my art. You know, it was the conversation I had with the Most High, you know, that I will do this and give it and do it and make sure that the art has integrity and that it always comes from a true place. But I did. I went with the inspiration of knowing that I had, that I would, especially when my first daughter was born, or, I realized that, my first wife was pregnant with my first daughter, that, okay, now here we go. Like, I have to, I'm trusting you, because you told me that if I do this, you will take care of me. So, man, you look into, and we come from the Spike Lee, we come from the independent era and things of that sort. So you looking to make a living off your art, off your work. And when you don't, when you go through the struggle of that, and you still trying to uphold your end of the bargain by coming truthful, coming from the heart, never just throwing something out there that you like, oh my God, why'd I do that? And I can say that I don't have a lot that I can say, why I do that. I think I got one project that I'm like, but it takes its toll, man. That's what I'm saying. When you keep hitting that well and you're not being, it's like what you giving and giving and giving, and it's not being replenished by what you need. And what you need more than anything, I believe, is more inspiration, more creativity, and more resources. So you can keep, like Virginia Woolf said, you got to make sure your house is in order. She can't write. You can't write no book. How can you write if the light's off? So these things go hand in hand. It's So
it's pretty much the energy where we at.
It's the energy where we at. It's the consciousness of where we at.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you just missed it, First Lady. I mean, I wish we'd been taping with because she was just like, yeah, I understand.
Mm-hmm.
She's just right downstairs. She's like, hey, this city, and she says, this city with their racism and, they backwards thinking. She says, man, that you've been here this long.
Yeah.
I mean, she said, like, man, you did good, that you've been here this long. And she said, I know it's coming. I know it's coming. You have to, because it's not getting better here in this city. It's not getting better anywhere. But but St. Louis, me and you realize that, man. We went to San Francisco. We came to the same thing, simultaneously. We were we knew that St. Louis was literally, and I stand on it, was literally 50 years behind. Literally, not an embellishment, not a joke, ha ha ha, he he. No, 50 years behind. I believe that more than I ever have, and it's really the consciousness. It ain't so much the tech, because we got technology, we got museum, all that, no. And we don't have the museums of these other cities too, which is more testament of the consciousness I'm talking about. The consciousness. That's what, the city's fine. It's cool, it's fine. It's in the middle. That's why who we are. We cold. Because we got it. We got the middle. We right, boom, 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 boom. We like, man, we get it all. So we the best artists. But man, we the most. I don't know why. I don't know how that works, and I'll probably be, because I am a St. Louis artist, like I was telling you the other day on the phone, man, I'm 40 years old, so I'm not going to start over anywhere. I'm going to bring what we've done, because that's all I can do at 40. I mean, ain't nothing, I'm not from Dallas or wherever I end up, I'm from here, so I'm representing here, so, and because that's who I am, and I'm later on in life, I guess that'll be my work for the rest of my life, probably, is the psychology of St. Louis. You know what I'm saying? What the consciousness is of what that is, because that's who I am. Because I didn't leave at 20, at 19, or even at 27, like one of my friends, like he did. So he can even be more of a Chicago cat, he left. He's been there. I'm 40 leaving, and the economic opportunity or the job is just that. It's that I need the money. It's an opportunity to make more money to get myself situated. I couldn't ask for a better situation. Only the better situation I could ask for was if I was literally going down there, Dallas, to do my work. You know what I'm saying? That I was going down there to do work, and I'm getting paid, you know, right off the jump, and I don't have to get a hernia removed and all that stuff because I'm going straight to go and do this and sit. That's the only other thing. Other than that, this is perfect. This is what we need. This is what I need to continue I Am We, to take this the next stage and taking the work. So man, God is so good. I'm elated. I'm nervous. Because you don't know. You know, it's like Charles said, something Charles says, like, it was deep, you know, because Charles got this way, he don't smile, you know what I'm saying, he toking on his cigarette, and it was at the Hunger premiere, you know, and he was like, well, you know, well, here it is, you know what I'm saying, you done went through this, and so now here it is. This is just how he was holding the cigarette in there. There's different things happening here, brother. You know, he said, first, be rejoiceful that you completed it, that you did it. So, okay. He says, now, you got to realize, you got to be real. You got to know there's some options happening here. One, you did it too late. You know what I'm saying? Two, it's still you ahead of your time. Three, boom, it's going to pop. It's right on time, and it's going to blow up.
You pick one?
What's my assessment thus far?
Yeah.
With the Hunger or?
Yeah, with the project he was talking about, which was the Hunger, right?
The Hunger. You want to know true?
Yes. Yes.
I'm caught between one, it was too late. Yep, I am. And two, obviously, it's still ahead of its time, you know.
Why is it too late? Where you get that from? That's what I'm trying to trip off of.
Man, I ain't know, man. Look, man.
Why was it too late as an option?
I'm gonna quote Kobe. Because we some old motherfuckers. I mean, come on, man. Just being real. I mean, we're relatively young men, as William said. That's what he said the other day. He says, you're relatively young, man. Now I get to relatively young, you know. And before you could hear that, I'm a young man, and I'm just being honest. I'm just, man, anybody, like Kobe, anybody else at this point, Tyson, anyone, you think, you reach a point where you're like, okay, you know, and you're like this, you just kind of, all right, okay. And it's just an acknowledgement of your mortality. It's acknowledgement of, okay, you're looking at what you've done, and that it's very possible that you've done everything that you were supposed to do. It's one God, one aim, one destiny. And before you could hear that, I'm a young man,